Thank you everybody who's here on the call. I know some of you are here for the first time. Some of you have been here for a long time. But I just want to welcome everybody and let's have a great session together and look at what September has in store for us. All right. So let's get started. So welcome to Kingdom Wealth Creators. Thank you everybody who's come on the call. I want you to know that our vision is to create wealth the right way, and I want to help you and equip you to create kingdom wealth. Right? That is the goal and the vision of why we are here. Right? We started with about 20 people, something around that, in the month of April. Today we have over 100 people from all over the globe. We have a lot of people from different parts of India, but beyond that, we have people from the US, from Canada, from UK, from Germany, from the Gulf, from Singapore, from Australia, from New Zealand. It's like we have spanned the globe in a few months, and that is just incredible. Thank you all for coming on board, and I hope we have been a blessing to you. All right. So we are on learning session 23. If you have missed any of the previous sessions, please go to YouTube to Kingdom Wealth Creators, subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, and go through the playlist and the videos there. Any question that you might have, please get back to me, ask me anytime you want. You can WhatsApp me or send me a message, send me an email asking me questions. I'm more than willing to answer. No question is a silly question, right? Any question that you ask is perfectly logical and important to me and important to you, and I want to make sure you get an answer for that. Okay, right. So first, let's look at a bit of feedback from people about KWC, and I've been very much encouraged by what I've seen, and I hope this encourages you too. Okay, this is from somebody who's 20 years old. He's from a medical background, and he started learning and trading with KWC just a month back. And I've seen him pick it up very quickly. He really likes doing all the technical charts. I'm trying to teach him all the funda that I have also, and he's made 16% return. It's a small capital, 5,000. You might say, oh, only 5,000. What's that? But look at the return, 16% return when the index moved only 3% this month. Okay, so that's an incredible return, and hands off and hats off to him because he's done an incredible job. Great feedback. Thank you so much. Here's two other feedbacks. One person, he only does short-term trades. He doesn't do any FNO. He doesn't do any intraday. In the last month, he did 0 intraday. And I've been telling people, please stop doing intraday trades and look for short-term trades because the volatility has gone down. Intraday doesn't really work now. But look at his return. He's made about 1 lakh in the past 2 months. So hats off to him as well. Another person who he used to say he used to instinctively do trades, and gradually he decided he'll only do what I've been suggesting, and he's made 75,000 rupees in this last 1 week alone. Incredible job. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. Another person who's just 19 years old and he's learning about the technical charts, and he's doing a great job. Another person who has made who initially struggled before he came to KWC. He was just, it looked like a bit of gambling for him, but I've seen how he's lost money before he joined us, but gradually now he's making money, and I'm really glad that, this is helping him. And so a lot of, and this is not it, there's a lot more people, a lot of feedback. I've just incorporated a few, but I'm so glad for all the feedback that you have. I hope that you keep coming back with feedback because it will encourage all of us involved in KWC. Okay, so let's look at monthly performance. Okay, for short term, this is for short term cash trades. Now I do a lot of FNO trades, futures and options trades, but I also do a bit of short term cash trades. In fact, in August, my short term investments with cash trades went from 1.48 lakhs to 1.8 lakhs. So I saw an increase of 32,000 rupees, almost 20% increase on my short-term cash trades in the last 1 month. Okay, and so these were the trades that we have either done in the past month or things that we've exited gradually. You can see a lot of them are booked now, but there are still a few that we have been entering. 46 trades in the short-term cash trades that we have done, and 44% of them have been successfully exited or are at a profit now. That's a strike rate of 96%. If you look at the return, about 10.5% return. If you had invested along these lines with me, that's the return you're looking at. Okay. I think there's only two, Rajesh Exports and IRCTC, that are sitting at a loss right now. Everything else has either been booked at a profit or are still at a profit, and we're just waiting to exit at good prices. So incredible. If you've been doing any of this with me, you would have seen these results. Okay. All right. And so that 96% is tremendous. I'm also astonished by it, but it's the truth. Okay. We've been doing really well with our short-term cash rate. Short-term FNO trades. This is what my positions were in August. And you can see I had about 24, 25 lakhs of positions, and I exited out with about 3 lakhs of profit, which is about 12%, when the Nifty had a return of almost 2.3%. Okay. And you can see, I'll show you some interesting things. I've made mistakes in this, okay, and I want to point out the success stories and the mistakes that I've made so that you can get to understand this better. Right. Now, question in between on how we took these positions, I will tell you. Okay, so let me highlight some things to you. First of all, 12% return, okay, in 1 month. That's a huge return, especially when you're investing 24, 25 lakhs to see 12% return. See, when someone invests 10,000 rupees and he makes something successful, he says, oh, I made 5,000 rupees this month, 50% return. It's not so easy to replicate that when you're investing 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs or 1 crore. It's not easy to replicate that much of return because it's a lot more riskier. But you can see how using hedged positions on futures and options, I have made almost 12% return. But let me highlight some and look at the strike rate, 87%, 15 trades, 13 successful, 87%. Huge, huge. Let me show you some of the issues that I had. Now, if you look at this is Bajaj Auto. You will see that I bought the futures at 3,068 and it actually closed at 3,037. So that's actually a loss of almost 7,600 rupees. But because I've hedged it, even though I bought it at a higher price and I had to close it at a lower price, I actually made a profit of almost 7,000 rupees on Bajaj Auto. So you see, when you do hedged positions, even when you look like you're losing out in terms of the share price going from a higher price to a lower price overall, if you have hedged it, chances are you can still make a profit. Okay, and then some of the success story. HDFC Bank, I bought it at 1,048 when there was a breakout. So that's your answer. I look at so if you've gone back to the YouTube channel and looked up videos on technical indicators and technical charts, you will understand that I look for breakouts of trend lines. I look at EMA and I look at MACD breakouts. And that's when I bought HDFC Bank. This was, if you see the date, it was on the 4th of August. And it was when HDFC was sitting at 1,003. And then it cut and it just zoomed in about 5 minutes. It went to 1,030. But once it cut 1,045, I knew it was going to be a positive for the next few days or maybe even the month. I didn't know. But it was a good time to enter. So I entered 1,048. It closed at 1,114. I made about 36,000 rupees on the futures, and I made an additional 3,000 rupees on the hedge. So I made total about 38,000 on just one trade. Okay, and you can also look at the return. I spent about 1.4 lakhs to establish this trade, and I made a return about 27% on just that trade. L&T 28%, Reliance 15%. So there have been some really good returns on some of these. I made also losses, and I want to point out one, Escorts. Now, what happened with Escorts is, if you look at all the other trades, I've done our futures hedged with options, but this was an option hedged with options. And in fact, at one point, it was at a positive, but I didn't exit it out. And then eventually it died down, and I made a huge loss, 28,000 rupees. I lost 28,000 rupees there. And see, most people would just tell you, we made money here. And you know what, I made this much money here. But I want to point out to you, there are times when I've made mistakes. And so going forward into September, I have decided that I'm going to avoid these mistakes. So I want you to know, even at this level, even despite 16 years of experience, I still make mistakes. So If you are making mistakes in the investment market, in the stock market, trust me, so are we. The important thing is to learn from your mistakes and try not to repeat them again. So what is the mistake here and what's my takeaway? My mistake was to hedge options with options. And my takeaway from this is going forward, I'm going to avoid such positions. Okay. So let's and another thing, this side note, okay, for people who are very much interested in brokerages, the reason why I do my trading on Finwase, I will explain through these two pictures here. Okay, if you look at this in July, I made a gross profit of about 2.4 lakhs. Okay, but you can see that my net profit was about 2.38 lakhs, which means it only cost me 4,000 rupees of brokerage of fees to do this trading. Whereas in Zerodha or some other brokerages, especially if you're trading with ICICI or HDFC or the bank, trading systems, you're going to lose a lot of money just paying the brokerage company or the bank with their brokerage fees. But in July, I only spent 4,000 rupees for brokerage. In August, and that is when I traded almost 3.74 crores, 3.75 crores of trading that I did, and I paid only brokerage of 4,000 rupees. In August, I did trading about 3.17 crores, and again my brokerage came out to roughly, let's see, this is roughly 3,000 rupees. So you can see how that is a huge difference. Okay, 4,000 rupees in July on 3.75 crores of trading, and 3,000 rupees of brokerage fees. And these are not brokerage fees; these are actually transaction costs that I pay to the NSC and STT charges, and that's it. 3,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees on all of these on all of these trades. 7,000 rupees. So I've saved a lot just on brokerages. Okay. So in case you're wondering, if you do a lot of volume trading, I think Finwase is probably the best platform to get on. Okay, just a side note. All right. So just to point out, Nifty was at 11,300 on July 31st. It closed at 11,560 on August 27th, which was the expiry for the August contracts. So it increased only by 2.3%, but my return of 12% on FNO was 5 times better than the Nifty. Okay, that's a huge difference, right? And I just did 15 main trades and then made some adjustments. Basically, I closed out some of the option positions and enter other option positions, but basically did only 15 trades in 20 trading days in the month. I did short-term cash trades, of course, bought shares, and it went up from 1 point. I profited. Now, all of it is not realized profit. Some of it is still in the shares itself. I haven't booked the profit yet, but 1.48 to 1.8. That's 20% increase there itself. But I did not do a single intraday trade in August. Okay, I've been telling you that volatility has gone down a lot. Please stop doing intraday trading. Focus on short term. And it makes no sense if I disobey what I'm saying, right? And so I have done 0 intraday trades. In fact, one of the feedback that we saw was that one person said he didn't do a single intraday. And I want to congratulate that person. That is incredible. Please, intraday trading, you can make money, but it's a lot more risky because the movements are not so much nowadays, right? Okay, now what's the market outlook? Last week I said, okay, the Nifty is outside this channel, but overall, because the volatility is down, it is still bullish. There might be corrections, but it's still going to go up. Do not be afraid. It's a good time to enter positions. 11,378 was where the Nifty was last Friday. Today it closed at 11,654, and you can see that it has returned back into the main channel now. It's hugging the channel now. Okay. Similarly, the Bank Nifty. Now, the Bank Nifty, I said, if it goes about, this was last week, okay? It was at 22,317 on Friday. And I told you, if it can stay above 22,350, we are looking at 23,000 to 23,500. Okay, I said that last Friday. Last Saturday. And look at what happened in this 1 month, 1 week, sorry, 1 week. In 5 days, so 23,500. From there, it shot up and it's gone all the way to 24,560. And it's, see, my target was here, this purple line on top. It was 23,500. That was where I said probably it's going to, do a bit of bouncing. In fact, it did. Okay, it reached there and kind of bounced back, but then again it cut, and now there's no breaks on this thing. I think the next target we're looking at is 25,200. Okay, so people who are interested in banks and bank nifty, next possible target is 25,200, and we might hit it in the next 2 days. Okay, I'm not sure when, but probably by Monday or Tuesday. You know why? Because on Friday, the bank nifty went up by 900 points, and 25,200 is just 700 points from where we are right now. So we could see the bank nifty hit 25,200. We could see bank nifty hit 25,200 in the next 2-3 days, and then 26,500 is a possibility. That's where my next huge resistance is. 25,200 might be a resistance point. It might bounce off of that and come down a bit, but those are where I think the resistance points are, just for you guys to know. So like I said, last Friday, when the Nifty closed a bit negative, I told, don't worry, it's a good time to enter. Probably look for stocks that you can enter in, and it did a breakthrough. Same thing with the bank Nifty. I said if it crosses 22,350, you're looking at 23,000 to 23,500, and it has exceeded those expectations. It's just crushed the resistance. It's gone up to 24,500. Okay, so listen and learn and understand. These are all technical things. Okay, it's not something that I just dream about. It's what the charts are telling us and the overall picture. And if you can understand that and follow that, you can make money. People, like one person said, last 1 week he decided not to do any instinctive trades, just follow with me, and he's made 75,000 rupees in a week. Simple, right? Okay, so here's my positions for September. Just this is again not you can, if you want, try to follow with me if you want to, but you can see I've really gone all out in banks. Okay, I have both the HDFCs, HDFC and HDFC Bank. I have both the Bajaj twins, Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv. I've also got a public sector bank, which normally I don't enter at all, but I have PNB just for this thing. And Sun Pharma and Aura Pharma. I think Pharma is probably also going to be looking a little bullish. Sun Pharma more than Aura Pharma. Sun Pharma has already given a breakout, and it probably is going to look at 580 to 620. I've hedged it with 580 and 600, and we will see how it goes. But those are the positions that I've already taken for this month. Right now, why do I say that we're still looking bullish? Because this entire month, foreign investors have been buying. Domestic institutional investors, which means mutual funds and the banks, have been selling. The entire month of August, there's not been a single day when they did not sell. But every day, the foreign investors kept buying, and the market has just gone up. Okay. So this is an indication. If you can follow these trends and stick with the FIIs, whenever the FIIs have sold, the market has gone down. Whenever the FIIs have bought, the markets have gone up. And so for me, as long as I see FIIs buying, I'm okay. Okay. No, and there's been 2 days in the 20 days of trading. There have been 2 days when they did sell, but those were small amounts. And so generally, when I've seen this, I've noticed that there is a bullishness in the market. It's a good trend to follow. Okay. Now the second thing is India VIX. This is the volatility index. Last week on Friday, it closed at 19.94. Anything below 20 is bullish, and it also shows less volatility, meaning there's a less chance of it falling, the market falling. And from 1994, it has closed at 1835 this week. It's a huge decrease. Okay, 1835. We haven't seen those levels since May 2019. And so, and see, here's another prediction that I did. Based on the volatility index, I said that February 24th was 11,800 based on the volatility index. I think at the rate we are going, we will see 11,800 in this week. So listen, this is not something that I predicted out of the blue. It's just by following the trends. If volatility is going down like this, 11,800 is a very clear possibility. And last week, when the volatility index was around 2021, we were at 11,370, which was the same mark as February 28th. And February 24th is 11,800, where the volatility is at about 14, 15, 16. And we are going there. I have a distinct possibility of seeing 11,800 probably this week. I don't know, but that is probably what we're looking at. Okay. And so what is our range for the month? I think anywhere between 11,300 to 12,100 is where we're looking at a range. Okay, we're at 11,650 now. The bank nifty is on fire. Chances as the bank nifty goes up, every 300 points in the bank nifty is about 100 points in the nifty. So if the bank nifty goes from 24,650 or 600, 25,200, we're going to see another 100, 150 plus points in the nifty alone. That itself can take us to 11,800. So I'm thinking if this trend continues, because you can see everything is in a channel now. Okay, Nifty is in a channel. The bank Nifty is in a bank Nifty is broken a channel, and so at this present scenario, I definitely see 11,800 probably being reached this week. Okay, chances are very high. Will there be corrections? Yes, corrections happen all the time. Nothing goes up in a straight line, but possibility of 11,800. And if you look at my positions for September, mostly bullish. TCS and Reliance are things that I put that they're not going to move a lot. Reliance might actually move a lot after the AJR case gets resolved. But again, most of it is in banks and in pharma, because I see those sectors moving a lot more. Now, let me talk a bit about trading psychology. This is important for all of us. We got to really understand how to think. Okay, half the battle when it comes to investments is here. People, when the Nifty was down at 7,500 and 8,000, nobody wanted to buy because we were all scared that the market is going to go down even more. People who bought at 8,000, I know a couple of people who along with me have bought shares in that range, and they have just made money, made 40, 50, 60% return on their investment overall portfolio because they invested at those prices. Tata Motors at 60 rupees, 65 rupees. Today, Tata Motors is at 140. Okay. Reliance at 800. Today, Reliance is at 2,100. And so, but again, fear. If our trading, so the battle, half the battle is in your mind. If you can get your mind on what to do right, you'll do well. Okay. So first of all, the volatility index has reduced. So please understand that you can't do what we used to do before. When initially in April, May, June, a lot of intraday, because there was a lot of violent movements and it was easier to make money. Now it's not so. So we got to stop doing intraday and start focusing on short term. I'm stressing this again because I see that as important. Short term is the way to go now. Okay. Please, the trading mentality has to change. We got to focus on short term gains, and we got to look at how to, the market trend is that way. And even the rules that are coming in are actually encouraging short term more than intraday. In fact, the new rules are actually restricting intraday. And so please, let's follow what the rules are saying and do well here. Okay. And so it is along those lines that I launched the high net worth plan. Some of you are already on that plan. And as you can see, making a lot of return. This is only for people with a large capital. If you don't have, please stick to short-term trades, cash trades. Okay, and that's doing really good. 10% increase in the last 1 month, for example. But if you have a lot more capital, you should invest efficiently, more efficiently, and that's what the high net worth plan is all about. You've seen how I double hedge my future my positions. Even if that share goes down, I'll still make money. Like you saw in Bajaj Auto, even though the price went down by 31 rupees, I still made a profit of 7,000 rupees. Okay, so for me, it doesn't really, of course, it does matter if the share is going down. How I decide to enter that position is because I see the trend for that share is positive or is going up. That's why I decide to enter it, but I always hedge it too. Now, we got to be patient. Stop being anxious. I've noticed, even for me, sometimes when the share is going, oh, it's going down, what to do? Relax. Okay, it's not the end of the day. Diversify. So even if one is going down, 3 are going up, you're better off. Okay, so the portfolio as a whole is what we should look at. We shouldn't focus, oh, this share is going down, what to do? Focus on the portfolio. Okay, have to be patient, not anxious. Don't make a lot of trades. So last month I did 15 trades. That's it. I just sit back. No, you know that in August, most of the time I was just sitting back and relaxing and just watching the market. I wasn't, oh, that's going down, that's going up, not so much. I wasn't spending too much time on it. Of course, I was watching the markets, I was making, decisions and all of that, but I was very much relaxed. Even when the market, there was a day when the market crashed by 100 points. No issues. I actually ended up with a profit on that day, even though the market crashed. Okay, so relax. That is the rule when it comes to the high net worth plan. And you can see that what we also do is we first buy liquid Bs or liquid debt funds as collateral, and then use that margin to buy or sell futures and hedge them by selling options. Okay, and you can gain somewhere between 3 to 8% per month. Okay, if you're doing this well. In July, I gained 25%. In August, 25% when the Nifty gained 10%. In August, I gained 12% when the Nifty gained 2.3%. So 5 times, 3 times the return that you can see on the index alone. But say 3%, 8% return on, say you have 10 lakhs. If you see 3% return on 10 lakhs, that's 30,000 rupees a month. That's a lot of money. Okay. You won't get that sort of return anywhere. So that's the sort of thing that I'm encouraging people with a lot more capital to invest efficiently. Okay. And so you can see the edge that we give. Why we take a decision is the edge. Okay. And anytime you have a question as to why, I will tell you why. Okay. And you can see in August and in July, we were almost 87, 88% accurate. And that has seen a 12% return in August alone. Okay. And that is why I think those with people with larger capital look at doing hedged positions in the future and options market. You can ask me for advice. I'm more than willing to help you out with that. Okay, but hedged positions is the way I'm going to do it. And I think that's the best way to do it. If you want to follow along, please do. Okay. Now, there are some people who don't have a lot of time for this, but they have capital. And for them, I'm releasing the KWC Partnership Plan. So suppose you have, and this is basically where you need to loan minimum 1 lakh, but more if you want to. And I will guarantee you a 12% return on your loan. And this compares to about 3% in savings bank, 5 to 6% for FDs, 10% in SIPs. But 12% return per annum is a great return. And this is especially for those who don't have time. They don't have time to trade. They don't have time to learn. And they have a lot of capital lying around. And I'm telling you, if you have nothing else to do, why don't you invest in us? And we will help you see a very good return on that. So 2 plans, high net worth plan and investment plans for people with capital. But people who don't have a lot of money, but still have, want to invest and learn, please do. Just follow with the advisory plan, short-term trades. You're going to see a good, decent return. You saw the feedback. Person with 5,000 rupees made 16% return after brokerage fees. Amazing. A person with, another person with, he's got 12 lakhs invested, 15 lakhs invested. In the last 2 months, he's made 2 lakhs return. That's also a tremendous return, almost 13% return in 2 months. And he's only done short-term trades. So I want you to know that, all of these are possible. Whether you don't have a lot of money or you have a lot of money, you can do investments and you can generate wealth for yourself and your family, but by following wise advice from people who understand how to do this. That's important. If I blindly throw a dart and hit something and say, I want to buy that share, that's not going to work. You got to follow the trend. You got to follow the market trend. You got to do your analysis. You got to do your research. You got to invest correctly and you will make money. All right. So let me end there. If you have any queries, please message me, WhatsApp me at 9495974264. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kingdom Wealth Creators, and follow and watch those videos. Learn. See, I want to stress this again. Learn. If you learn well, you're going to succeed in the stock market. Guaranteed. And I have so many examples. I have a 16-year-old, sorry, a 17-year-old who's seen an increase of 15% in his portfolio in just 4 months. I've seen 20-year-old from the medical background doing well. I've seen 45-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds. I've seen teenagers to grandfathers to grandmothers doing well if you learn. So there is no restriction how old you are, what gender you are, what's your level of education. what's the capital you have. None of that matters. What matters is you learn well and you invest well and you will make returns. Okay, so I'm just going to close that for now. I'm going to open it up for questions. Any questions, guys, that you have? I'm just going to unmute all of you. If you have questions that you want to ask me, you can ask me, or you can type it up. Okay, let me see. Okay, so one question was, how does one decide to take a cash trade or a position? So I want you to know that I take decisions based on technical analysis. So every share that I buy, every position that I take, I make that decision based on technical charts, and I've explained those in my videos before, but three indicators that I look at: EMA, MACD, stochastic. Based on those decisions, I enter, and I more or less, you can see the strike rate, 87, 88, 96%. The strike rate is incredible, and as long as that is my edge. See, the edge is in making that decision based on technical analysis, and that edge has provided me with good profits. Okay. Now, by the way, I sometimes people ask me, "Hey, what can I buy now?" Please, I don't simply buy for the sake of buying. And I want you to know this. Okay, I usually will only enter if it meets my criteria, and sometimes I want you to know, I see a lot of shares that could potentially meet two or one of some of my criterias. But if it doesn't meet everything that I'm looking for, I won't enter. So I'm not in a hurry to enter just because I want to enter. Say I have 10 lakhs lying around, I want to put it in now. I'm not thinking like that. I'm looking for the right price, the right share, and the right time to enter. And I know from 16 years of experience that opportunity will come, 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 come again and again and again every day. So today, if I have 10 lakhs sitting around, I'm okay with that. Tomorrow, if I see a good opportunity, I will invest in that. And also, I don't take undue risk. Okay, the amount that I invest, I can take wild positions. I can buy 10 futures if I want of something, but I don't. I diversify. I don't buy 10 lots options of something. No, I hedge everything. I don't do any unhedged positions. So there's a lot of things I want you to know that is important, and that is especially when it comes to risk management. See, we've been given certain amount of capital that we have in our hands. We got to steward it well. That means I don't take undue risk, and I don't do things because I feel like it. I make decisions well based on technical analysis, and I also hedge my positions. Bajaj Auto, even though it went down, still made money. Okay, there's a few more examples there. Even though the price actually went down, Reliance, I want to show you Reliance. Where's the Reliance? Let me look at Reliance. Okay, let me take that. Okay, if you see Reliance on my August outlook, okay, look at this. Okay, Reliance in the second case, I bought it at 2129 and it went down to 2124. So technically 5 rupees into 505, 2500, 2200 loss. But because of my hedges, I actually made a profit of almost 30,000 rupees there. Even though Reliance, the price actually went down. Okay. And you can see this in a lot of examples. All right. Anything else? Okay. How does stochastic help? Stochastic basically is showing whether the share price is overbought or oversold. So when a share is overbought, that is not a good time to enter to buy it. When it's oversold, it's a good time to enter. All right. Upper circuit was 666 for IndusInd Bank, but close was 671. What happens is there are certain rules for the NSE when it comes to the upper circuit. If the upper circuit is hit during the last hour of trading or the last 1.5 hours of trading, you'll only be stuck there for 5-10 minutes and then you'll restart. The circuit will be removed and it can continue on its journey. So that is why if you saw IndusInd Bank, it reached upper circuit at about, I think, 2-ish, and then it was allowed upper circuit was removed after a few minutes. About 15 minutes later, the circuit is removed. If a stock reaches upper circuit or lower circuit early in the morning by about before 11 or 12, it'll wait for 1 hour, roughly one and a half hours before the circuit is removed. And that's again only for certain stocks. Okay, the smaller mid cap, small cap stocks, if they hit their circuit breaker, either upper or lower, then they're stuck at that for the rest of the day. It won't move. So these are only for the higher level, larger cap, future and option enabled stocks that can actually be released from one circuit to the next circuit. All right. So we have still people joining, so I'll just wait a few more minutes. Hi, Jeevan. Hi, Lena. Good to see you guys. Right, so let's get started. Now, I know a lot of you are at different levels when it comes to investment and financial management. Some of you are just pure learners, as Lena just pointed out. Some of you are people who trade and do investments. And so I totally understand that there are a whole lot of levels here. And my answer to all of you is to tell you that as much as possible, ask questions. Okay. It doesn't matter if your questions are at a beginner's level. It doesn't matter if your questions are at an advanced level. Everybody benefits when somebody asks a question. Okay, and there are no dumb questions. So please feel free to ask questions or put it out in the chat box, and I will make sure I answer all of them during either this chat or later. All right.
Yeah.
So,
Arjun, can you hear? No, it's actually my transfer. My phone got switched off.
All right.
Arvind.
Yeah.
Yes, Arjun. No, I was wondering, when you're trading in commodities like gold and crude oil, do you use the same selling the call as a hedge, or how do you hedge it?
Yeah, so there's a bit of an issue with gold and commodities. Okay, the options are not so. There's not a lot of volume in the options there. So I am actually going to step out of commodities starting from September, because it's taking up a lot of time also in the evenings, which I don't want to take away from my family. And so we're going to focus purely on the Indian market without any focus on commodities going forward in September. Okay, a couple of questions here also. Let me quickly answer them. Can we put a stop loss in the system, or do we have to enter them every day? As of now, we have to enter them every day, because there's no system in the Indian brokerage mechanism where if you put a stop loss, the system retains it at the end of the day. So yes, you have to put in the stop loss every day if you want to. What is upper circuit? Basically, there are certain levels that the NSE or the NIFT, basically the SEBI, the stock exchange has set, where a stock, if it reaches say 5% or 10% or 15% or 20% in one day. So for example, IndusInd Bank moved from 600 to 660, that was 10%. And so immediately at 10%, it stops trading, because this is just a safety mechanism to make sure that there are no huge downward or upward movements. Even the Nifty, even the index has circuit breakers, basically to make sure that it doesn't just fall or just go up very quickly, and people have time to think before they start panicking and buying or selling. So a lot of reasons why, and every stock has circuit breakers. The smaller stocks usually have circuit breakers at 5%. The larger stocks and the ones with more volume sometimes have circuit breakers all the way up to 20-25%. But most are in the range of 5 to 10. And some stocks, and even the stocks that are having higher circuit breakers at 20-25%, they will first start at 10. So the first circuit breaker will be at 10, then 15, then 20. It'll keep going during the day.